Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jules. Excited to have you here as always. And today we're going to be talking about overcoming fear. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience as human beings. It has the ability to stop us in our tracks, rob us of opportunities, and keep us stuck in a life we know isn't meant for us. But fear isn't the enemy. Fear is simply a signal. It's what you do with that signal that determines whether it controls you or propels you forward. Now imagine standing at the edge of a vast forest trail. The path ahead is steep, winding, and unfamiliar. Your heart races, your palms sweat. Everything in you screams, turn back. But just beyond that fear lies adventure, freedom, and growth. That's what fear often is, the edge between where you are and where you're meant to go. Fear is a protective mechanism. It's designed to keep us safe, to alert us of danger. In ancient times, this was really life saving. It kept our ancestors alive in the face of predators and natural disasters. But today, fear isn't just about physical threats, it's about perceived threats. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown. The problem is that our brains can't always tell the difference between real danger and imagined danger. To your mind, stepping onto a stage to give a speech might feel as threatening as being chased by a lion. The same fight or flight response is triggered even when your life isn't actually at risk. Fear isn't going away. It will always be there, especially when you're stepping into new territory. But fear doesn't have to stop you. In fact, it can guide you toward what matters most. There are two types of fear: rational fear and irrational fear. So, rational fear, this is the fear that keeps you alive. It's the voice that says, don't touch the fire or stay away from that ledge. Rational fear is important and it's protective. Irrational fear, however, this is the fear that whispers, you're not good enough, or what if you fail? It's the fear that keeps you from trying, from growing, from living the life that you deserve. This is the fear we need to face and reframe. Irrational fear thrives on inaction. The more you avoid the things that scare you, the more power fear gains. It builds walls around your comfort zone, convincing you that it's safer to stay small. But safety isn't the same as fulfillment. A life lived in fear is a life half lived. So let's use an example. Let's use an example of Richard, who was terrified of losing money. He grew up in a household where financial scarcity was the norm, and those early experiences left him deeply afraid of being poor. So, of course, as an adult, this fear manifested in extreme frugality. Richard avoided spending money on anything he didn't deem absolutely necessary. He skipped vacations, turned down dinners with friends, and refused to invest in his own happiness. Now, it's okay to do this if you're saving or you're working towards a goal, but he did this always. He had the money to spend on these things. He just didn't think that they would add value to his life, or actually the fear overcame the value in this particular circumstance. His world became smaller and smaller. Opportunities came to Richard, life-changing ones. A close friend invited him to become a business partner in a venture that not only have helped people but also promised great returns. Richard turned it down, fearing the risk of losing his savings. Another time, a mentor suggested he take a professional course to grow his skills and advance his career, but Richard refused because the tuition felt like an unnecessary expense. Time and again, he let his fear dictate his decisions. Years passed, and Richard realized that his life had become a cage. He had money but no joy. He had security but no fulfillment. The opportunities he had passed up haunted him because they were not just chances to grow his wealth, but to live a richer life in every sense of the word. Now let's contrast Richard's story with the lessons found in The Richest Man in Babylon, the book. One of the book's most memorable characters, Arkad, and I hope I'm saying that right. That's the way that I've been saying it. So Arkad started as a poor scribe, but became the richest man in Babylon. And what set Arkad apart wasn't just his ability to earn, but it was his mindset. He believed that money was a tool to be used wisely, not something to hoard out of fear. Arkad learned to save a portion of his income, invest it thoughtfully, and take calculated risks. And when opportunities arose, he didn't let fear hold him back. He trusted that the seeds that he had planted would grow, and they did. Arkad's wealth wasn't just financial. It was a wealth of experiences, relationships, and contributions to his community. He understood that fear of loss would rob him of everything, not just his money, but the life that he wanted to live. Richard and Arkad both faced fear. Richard let his fear control him, while Arkad used his fear as a guide. When Arkad felt hesitant, he didn't run from it. He evaluated it. He asked, is this a risk that is worth taking? Will this help me grow? And he acted with wisdom, not avoidance. This is the critical difference. Fear will always show up, especially when the stakes are high. But the question isn't whether fear exists, it's whether you'll let it define your choices. You can live a life like Richard, building walls to keep fear out, but also locking out joy and growth and opportunity. Or you can live a life like Arkad, embracing fear as part of the journey and using it to guide you toward a fuller, richer life. Fear doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be your ally, your teacher, and your compass. The next time fear whispers, what if you fail? Answer back, what if I succeed? The life you want is often on the other side of the fear that you're avoiding. So don't let fear hold you back from living the life that you deserve. Make sure that you are conscious of these things, that you're paying attention to these things, and that you're making the right choice when presented. So use fear as a tool and don't use it to bring about things that you don't want or to keep opportunities out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it and subscribe. Looking forward to continuing to make videos that will be helpful in your journey.